Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome. This is Biochemistry 2 course called Chem 342. Today we are having lecture 32 and today's topic is vitamins B complex, specifically vitamin B complex series B1. This is your teacher Dr. Naeem Khan, Chemistry Department, CUST. Outlines for today's topic include we will discuss vitamin B complex series introduction. Then we will highlight the important characteristics by which vitamin B complex varies from one another, and also what are the common characteristics by which these vitamins are similar to one another. We will then go to specifically to vitamin B1, that is thiamine of this series. We will highlight the chemistry of vitamin B1. We will explain the requirements recommended for human beings of vitamin B1, and then we will explain the important sources of vitamin B1, and at the end we will explain the important functions known for vitamin B1. So let's to have a start. Vitamins B complex. At the start, this term vitamin B was used to a substance whose deficiency was causing the famous disease beriberi. Actually, this term vitamin B was applied to at that time unknown factor. Now we know we are now that beriberi is caused by thiamine. But at the start, this term vitamin B was applied to a substance which was believed that its deficiency is causing beriberi disease. And we know that beriberi is a famous disease. Actually, it is the inflammation or degeneration of the nerves, digestive system, and heart. And actually, nowadays we are sure that this is because of the lack of thiamine. Later on, researchers, especially Goldberger and his group, while working on another famous disease, pellagra, they pointed out that actually this B complex, this vitamin B is not a single vitamin. And when we are talking about this B vitamin, actually it is composed of two factors. And they explained this B vitamin is consisting of two factors. One is that one which is a heat sensitive, and that is anti-beriberi factor, which is nowadays we know vitamin B1. And the next one is comparatively heat stable factor, which is anti-pellagra factor, and that is called vitamin B2. So what we want to say is, at the start, this term vitamin B was applied to a factor which was whose deficiency was causing the famous disease beriberi. But later on, researchers proved that actually vitamin B is not a single factor. Rather, it is composed of two factors. One is that which is preventing beriberi, and the other factor is that which is preventing pellagra disease. And we know that what is pellagra? Pellagra is actually dermatitis, I mean inflammation of skin and gastrointestinal disorders and mental disturbances. And this disease is because of the lack of niacin. So, from a historical point of view, vitamin B was called to anti-beriberi factor, but later it was proved that this is not a single vitamin, rather it is composed of two vitamins and B. So that's why it was later on changed to B complex. Uh, Other researchers, including Kahn and Elvigem, especially, they studied this B vitamin. Actually, at that time, this B vitamin was called to something like yeast, rice bran, and liver extract. These were the substances which were actually used for the preventing beriberi. So these researchers, when carried out their research on these sources, so they pointed out that actually B vitamin is not a single vector or two vector, rather there are several factors. There are several factors in the B vitamin, and up to today, there are up to 12, 13 factors which are included in the B complex series. At least eight of them are very common, and these are designated by B1, B1, B2, B3, no B4, B5, B6, B7, no B8, B9, B10, 11 are not available, and B12. To avoid confusion, actually this B1, B2, B3, this is making confusion. So their chemical names are commonly used. And in this way, the series of vitamin B complex include vitamin B1, which is chemically known as thiamine. Vitamin B2 is riboflavin. Vitamin B3 is niacin. Vitamin B5 is pantothenic acid. Vitamin B6 is pyridoxine. Vitamin B7 is biotin. Vitamin B9 is folic acid. And vitamin B12 cyanocobalamin. So vitamin B is not a single vitamin, it is a complex, it's a series of at least eight vitamins which are mentioned in this table. And these are different substances which are grouped together, and that is called as vitamin B complex. Common features of B complex vitamins. Actually, the different members which are included in the B complex series, they are not having similarity in their chemistry or in their physiological applications. They are not similar. However, there are some common features which these vitamins share, and these include all of them except lipoic acid are water soluble. So, B complex vitamins are water soluble vitamins. They are the components of coenzyme and playing an important roles in metabolism. These vitamins, B complex especially, all are almost vitamins are coenzymes of the enzymes which are very much important for the metabolism. Most of these can be obtained from the same sources. So, vitamin B complex are most commonly obtained from the same common sources, which include liver and yeast. And most of the B vitamin complex series vitamins, they are synthesized by the intestinal bacteria. So these common features are shared by the vitamins of B complex series. Coming to the vitamin B1, which is the first vitamin of B complex series, chemical name of vitamin B1 is thiamine, and thiamine can also be spelled as THIAMINE. thiamine, no E at the end. This thiamine and thiamine are used in same meanings. So chemically, vitamin B1 is thiamine, and thiamine was the vitamin which was discovered, isolated for the first time, and therefore it was named as B1. Next discovered B2, and so on. Vitamin B1 was first isolated by Johnson in Holland and Windows in Germany. These are the two discoverers which worked and for the first time isolated this vitamin on its action on beriberi disease. As this vitamin is curing beriberi disease. So that's why it is commonly known as anti-beriberi factor. Also, it is known as anti-uretic factor because of preventing and relieving inflammation of nerves. And also, as this vitamin is heat unstable, so it is also called as heat labile factor. So vitamin B1 is chemically called thiamine, and it is named as B1 because it was discovered for the first time of all B vitamin series, so it was named as B1. It is called anti-beriberi factor because it cures beriberi disease, and as it is preventing or relieving inflammation of nerves, so it is also known as anti-uretic factor. Vitamin B1 is heat unstable, so it is known as heat labile factor 2. Chemical formula of thiamine is C12H17N4OS, and from the chemistry point of view, it is 2,5-dimethyl 6-aminopyrimidine, which is bonded through methylene with 4-methyl 5-hydroxyethyl thiazole. Actually, vitamin B1, thiamine, is made up of two things. One is 2,5-dimethyl 6-aminopyrimidine, which is linked through methylene bridge with 4-methyl 5-hydroxyethyl thiazole. Like this. This is pyrimidine component which is linked through methylene bridge with thiazole ring. So two things are linked with one another, and this is making the vitamin B structure. Pyrimidine and thiazole are the two components which are linked in vitamin B1. Pyrimidine is unique as it is the only natural pyrimidine containing alkyl group 8 carbon number 2. This pyrimidine is quite unique, which is present in vitamin B1, and because it is the only natural vitamin, natural pyrimidine, which is containing alkyl group linked 8 carbon number 2. This figure can be traced in the GLGN book of biochemistry. Except penicillin, thymine is the only natural compound which contains thiazole group in its structure. Another feature of vitamin B1 is it is containing thiazole group in the structure, which is only found in the penicillin. And in penicillin, we know that look here, thiazole group is present. It is very interesting to mention here that plants can use a mixture of pyrimidine and thiazole compound in place of thymine itself. If plants are provided with pyrimidine and thiazole, so they can take, and from these two, they can fulfill their vitamin B1 requirement. But for animals, except pigeon, all other animals require complete vitamin, and they cannot get their vitamin B1 if they even if they are provided with pyrimidine and thiazole. Human requirements of vitamin B1. The daily recommended allowance for vitamin B1 is 1.2 to 1.4 milligram, while for women it is 1.0 milligram per day. Pregnant and lactating mothers require up to 1.5 milligram daily. And for infants, thiamine requirement is between zero point 0.2 to zero point 0.5 milligram daily. Vitamin B1 deficiency leads to polyneuritics in animals and beriberi in human beings. Sources: thiamine is found in all plant and animal foods. Cereals, heart, liver, and kidney are the excellent sources of thiamine. Actually, the surface layers of seeds are especially rich in thiamine. So care must be taken because too much polishing of the cereal grains actually reduces thiamine. Milk also contains thiamine, but in low amounts, so it may not be considered as that much rich source of vitamin B1. Improper cooking. For example, when we cook foods and we trash that water, that result in the loss of vitamin B1. Why? Because vitamin B1 is water soluble. So if we cook food and in the water, that vitamin actually B1 comes from the food into that water. So that water must not be trashed, that must be used. And if we trash that water, actually the vitamin B1 from food passes to that water, and with trashing the water, actually we lose vitamin B1. So proper cooking is required. As I mentioned here, that the surface layers of the seeds are rich in B1, so too much polishing is not good. Functions of vitamin B1. Thiamine is very much important because it prevent the complications in the nervous system, brain, muscle, heart, stomach, and intestines, which lead to beriberi. It's a very famous applications from the historic point of view of vitamin B1 too. Thiamine is involved in the flow of electrolytes into and out of muscle and nerve cells. This flow of electrolytes inside and out of muscles and nerves is very important for the physiology and normal good health of human beings. Thiamine cure beriberi. This is the most important function known for vitamin B1, and which is the disease of heart, nerves, and digestive system. Thiamine react with ATP to form thiamine pyrophosphate, commonly called as TPP. And TPP, along with lipoic acid, forms prostatograph for the enzyme carboxylase. And this TPP participate in several reactions such as decarboxylation of alpha keto acids, which include pyruvic acid and glutaric acid, and transketolation. So vitamin B1 is a very, very important because of its important function for the prevention of complication of the nervous system, brain, muscle, heart, stomach, and intestine. It is important for the flow of electrolytes in and out of the muscle and nerve cells. This vitamin is preventing beriberi, and when reacted with ATP, it is forming thiamine pyrophosphate, and thiamine pyrophosphate is an important cofactor of the enzyme carboxylase. TPP participate in several reactions such as decarboxylation of keto acid, including pyruvic acid and glutaric acid, and also it is required for the transketolation. Dear students, please go to the important reference book of Western Todd and highlight the points we discussed today and try to develop a thorough concept of the vitamin B complex series and especially vitamin B1. Another book for this purpose recommended is GL Jain, Fundamental of Biochemistry, and these two books will greatly help. And I will suggest to elaborate and add more details uh, while going to these books. And in this way, um try to develop a thorough concept for any confusion we may discuss next time. From today, I will say thank you. Bye.